Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you've read the thumbnail, the title, or you may have come straight from my website. I'm going to be exhibiting at Chelsea 2022 this year. um, whew. Let's get into it. My name is Jason and I'm the Cloud Gardener. Through lockdown in March 2020, I began to turn my balcony space into a little garden. It started off with one marigold and then turned into this. I started my YouTube and my social media platforms just to show people what you can do in a small space. I also document the trials and challenges of growing so high, but also how my garden has helped my mental health. So be sure to take a look through my YouTube channel. Funnily enough, I went to Chelsea last year to look at the balcony gardens, to show them the real realities of balcony garden. And I think to myself, somebody needs to be able to do that. So I'm going to try, with your help, I'm going to try and see if next year I can make it to the RHS Chelsea Flower Show and actually be able to have an installation or even just a stand, something to be able to talk to you, to other balcony gardeners about the realities of gardening. Just so that we are giving a realistic prospect of what balcony gardening is. So if you want to see that, make sure that you're following along, and please go onto social media at whoever needs to be added and help me make this possible. I honestly, I can't believe that it's come true. Just want to thank everybody who's been following me and pushing me, because without you, I wouldn't even have put pen to paper and began the application process. So thank you very, very much. If I'm getting upset. I'll leave a link to that whole video down in the description box, just so that you can see my experience of going to Chelsea last year and looking at the balcony gardening category. Okay, let's talk Cirrus Garden. My Chelsea garden is called the Cirrus Garden. Cirrus clouds are the highest clouds in our atmosphere. You can also find cirrus clouds on Jupiter and Neptune. And obviously we have a cloud theme and we're sticking to the cloud brand. So the Cirrus Garden is based on all of the best elements of the cloud garden. The planting list is full of all the plants that I have grown over here on the cloud garden for the past 2 years that have been successful. It was so important to me that when I released the planting list, that somebody else could pick up some of these plants, put them on their balcony, and they would work. The Cirrus Garden also features a fish pond. I made a video on the Japanese rice fish on YouTube, and I'll leave a link in the description box below. I grew my Japanese rice fish from eggs all the way up to adults, and they've done fantastically well over on my balcony garden. And I use the fish pond water to fertilize my whole garden, so it adds into sustainability on the garden. The Cirrus Garden is a 20th floor city centre balcony garden. In its windiest corner, you'll find some tall grasses to help break up the wind. The garden features 2 arches which will be covered in climbing roses and jasmines. We also have a ton of wild flowers to attract pollinators. We'll also have some leafy greens and herbs. The Cirrus Garden is designed to be a beautiful, flowery, showy garden, but also offer a retreat and sanctuary, much like its big brother, the Cloud Garden. Both gardens are living proof of what you can achieve with a small space. The Cirrus Garden is based on a sunset on the Cloud Garden, and I just love the beautiful colours of a summer sunset. For me, I find that Sunset going into evening is where my mind starts to go into overdrive. It's a time where I start to process and reflect and try to condense things down. And although I love my garden during the day, it's sometimes being out there at night and seeing it turn from day to night, watching all the lights come on in the city. It kind of gives me a little bit more perspective and realize that some of the issues that my mind is blowing up are small in comparison to the rest of the world. So it's a really special time for me and the way that my mind works, and I wanted to try and represent that in the Cirrus Garden. Super honest about my mental health journey on my YouTube channel. I've shared with you that I have to deal with anxiety and depression, and since I've started gardening, I found that it's become one of the coping mechanisms that help me get through day by day. But if there's one thing that's really, really important that I really want people to take away, is the Cirrus Garden is a garden that can be replicated in a small space somewhere else. It's my hope that the Cirrus Garden will encourage people to try and make use of their balconies or their small spaces, and in turn, they may see some benefits to their own mental health, but also it's wider than that. It's not just your mental health, but then starting to think about the biodiversity within your urban environment. For me, on my 18th floor balcony garden, to find worms, to find slugs, to find bees, and realize that my own pollinators are not actually the main ground level garden pollinators, but they're flies. It's these really small nuances that people will become exposed to once they start their small space gardening. When we think of show gardens, we think of these beautiful gardens with these beautiful flowers, but what I really wanted to show is that you can have a beautiful show garden with fruit and veg as well. So you are going to see fruit and veg on the Cirrus Garden, but I'll also be showing you how your small space garden can become its very own ecosystem. If you're new to my channel and to me, I keep everything like 100% real, so there's no fakery. I'ma spill the tea. Let me keep it real with you though, guys. I wouldn't be able to afford the Cirrus Garden myself. Ooh, however, what I am going to be doing is on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be showing you how to grow your own Cirrus Garden using a very similar planting list. Child, you know me, I'm going to be showing you how to use your ratchet containers and make an affordable version of the Cirrus Garden in your own small space. So watch out, because I am working with some partners, and within the next week or so, my Grow With Me project is going to be going live on my website. I'm also partnering with Plant Grow, who have been absolutely fantastic. They have amazing organic mulch and fertilizer. They are going to be donating some to the Cirrus Garden, and then I'll be working with Thrive. Thrive is just the most amazing charity, and it's all about using gardening and nature to heal yourself. They have some facilities where people come to their centres and experience the healing power of nature. On my YouTube channel, I'm going to be taking you guys along with me down to the centres. We're going to meet some of their client gardeners, and then some of them will be coming to help me on the exhibit at Chelsea, building the exhibit and spending the day on the exhibit with me and sharing their stories with how gardening has helped them. I'm also going to be seeking out some balcony gardeners from my very own Facebook balcony gardening group, manning the Cirrus Garden and spreading the word about balcony gardening. I'm also going to be taking you guys behind the scenes on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to build a show garden. Child, let me tell you, it is no walk in the park. I look back at me making my little designs, thinking, oh yeah, this would be so easy. Fool is all I can say.
What a mess.
But I'm also going to be taking you to all the nurseries that are growing some of my plants and keeping you up to date with how my pond gets made, as well as visiting the headquarters for Thrive and seeing what they do on a day-to-day basis. I'm kind of hoping that, next year, if I choose to do a show garden again, although at this moment in time, I just can't see it happening. But if I do, I want there to be some stiff competition in the container garden categories. I don't want to be breezing it through. So hopefully by showing you guys everything that goes on behind the scenes, it might encourage some people to design their own gardens and get more involved in show gardens and in the gardening community. If I'm being truly honest, I'm still not too comfortable in busy environments, and what I am going to be doing is going to as many flower shows as possible just to get a bit of experience being in that kind of environment, so that I kind of loosen up a little bit, and doing some direct reporting for you guys, so you get to see what all of these show gardens and flower shows are all about, and see if I can find us any tips or tricks or bargains that we can use in our own gardens. I know that in my past few videos I've been pretty bleak, and I hope now that you know about Chelsea, I hope everything starts to make sense. So it wasn't just the things that I was saying in those videos that were making me a little bit bleak. It was also the pressure of Chelsea, and I think in my mind I went through a little phase of imposter syndrome where I didn't feel like I belonged, or that I wasn't worthy of having a spot at Chelsea, because I know that there are so many designers who have studied garden and landscape design, and this is something that they've been wanting for years, and then there's little old me, and I kind of took it a little bit hard, and I thought, but you know what, I did what I always do when I get a bit down. I read your messages, your comments, your DMs, and it sometimes helps me to remember why it is that I'm doing what I'm doing. And I just want to say thank you so much to all of you for your support and for continuously pushing, because looking back at some of your comments, it reminded me that actually I do deserve a spot. Although I might not have all of those levels of experience that other garden designers have, I've got lived-in experience on my balcony garden, and I think that's what makes the Cirrus Garden really special. It is a garden that's born through my lived experience. And if there's any doubt on the Cirrus Garden, all you need to do is take a look at the Cloud Garden and know that this is something that anybody can do. When I started Cloud Garden UK, I created two values. The first is do not give up, and the second is maintain your roots. For anybody out there suffering with mental health, I hope that my journey and the Cirrus Garden kind of offers you hope that actually you don't have to stay trapped and confined within your mental health, that you can do more. Just don't give up. There's a lot going on, but once again, just thank you so much to the RHS for giving me this opportunity, but also to you guys for inspiring and encouraging me to keep on pushing. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye!